Scavenging represents an important energy transfer in food webs and can be prompted by different means, such as a kill made by a predator or an animal dying from disease, and the body then becomes carrion to be scavenged upon. In the ocean, the largest source of carrion is the whale, and therefore the death of one of these animals in the ecosystem has an important function in energy transfer. A paper published in September of 2012 by Chris Fallows, Austin Gallagher and Neil Hammerstein, entitled White Sharks Carcharodon calcareus, Scavenging on Whales and its Potential Role in Shaping the Ecology of an Apex Predator, details a study examining the scavenging of white sharks on the carcasses of whales. The aim of this study was to record the occurrences of white sharks scavenging on the carcasses of baleen whales in False Bay, South Africa. The study also wanted to observe the incidence of white sharks actively hunting fur seals in the same location, comparing these two forms of foraging and establishing the overall trend of the animals. The waters around Seal Island were observed and incidents of natural predation on seals were recorded. There are also 4 incidents where the researchers were able to observe white sharks scavenging on the carcasses of whales. During these events, the boat was anchored alongside the carcass where species and size of the whale was recorded, as well as the cause of death was speculated. The details of each shark observed within 10 metres of the carcass were also recorded, as well as its behaviour. Observation of the feeding behaviour of the sharks on the carcass indicated that the sharks continued to feed until they were no longer able to lift their heads above the waterline. They would bump the carcass and make attempts to feed, however did not seem to be able to sufficiently bite the carcass in order to remove flesh. Gradually, feeding activity decreased after the day of highest activity, which, as inferred by the paper, was due to the fact that the sharks may have become satiated, lost interest in the carcass, and the area of high blubber had been stripped. Over the entire research period, the incidents of sharks hunting seals were continuously recorded, even during the time periods where a carcass was available for scavenging. This graph displays the results of recorded seal attacks before, during and after the days that the carcass was present. This data suggests that the seal predation rates by sharks were significantly lower during the time where the whale carcasses were available for scavenging compared to the period before and after. However, there was little difference in the number of attacks before and after the whale carcass presence. Observation carried out over a number of years at that location recorded that sharks that are actively seen hunting seals rarely exceed 3.5 metres in length. However, at least 24 sharks were observed feeding on the whale carcasses exceeding 4 metres in length. This may indicate that as the shark grows larger, it is less able to actively hunt agile prey like seals, or may no longer derive efficient energy from this prey type. Instead, they change predatory behaviour and begin to patrol the shorelines looking for weak and dead whales. This evidence suggests that despite the fact that white sharks are efficient predators of fur seals, scavenging on whale carcasses may be a more important and more frequent food source for the sharks. However, the fact that these incidents are rarely observed may account for the limited knowledge in this area of shark ecology. The conclusion of the study suggests that scavenging behaviour of white sharks on the carcasses of whales is extremely important to their ecology and to the individuals, as it has a significant role in changing the migration and social behaviour of the sharks with a community-wide impact. This paper suggests that the field deserves more study with greater understanding of the impact of scavenging on this apex predator and the ecosystem.